What does it mean? Idaho? Wait, I think I got that backwards. Yeah. Idaho. What does it mean? Welcome to American Esoterica. If history class gives you the trip to the beach, this is the sand that you take home in your suit. The essential stuff in between, the personalities, events, and other ephemera that shape our history and culture. I'm Brian Powers. Many states have interesting and colorful stories, but this one may just take the cake and all the ice cream. It's about the origins of the word Idaho. And while the facts are fuzzy, there's really one important detail that is entirely true. But we'll get to that. Let's enjoy the ride first. The origin of the name Idaho is, at least with some historical consensus, the story of a man named Dr. George Willing. Dr. Willing had settled in an area of the West that was on the verge of becoming a recognized American territory. He was a mining lobbyist. And this is where it gets murky. He lost an election to be a delegate from the new territory, then named Jefferson, but traveled to Washington, D.C. anyway and acted as the delegate from the area. He was never officially seated as a delegate, however. He was really just in D.C. to lobby for mining operations back home. Also, he wasn't from the area. He was born in Philadelphia and had moved first to California to escape some legal troubles, then to St. Louis, before briefly settling in the Jefferson Territory during a gold rush. It was in D.C. pretending to be a delegate, though, as he supposedly later recounted to his friend William Stoddard, a member of Lincoln's administration, that he presented to Congress his suggestion for the official name of the Jefferson Territory, Idaho, which he explained was a Native American Shoshone word meaning gem of the mountains. Things were on track. The name was accepted by Congress and nearly became the name for the new territory. In fact, the very first written appearance of the word Idaho came in a report from a Minnesota paper on the deliberations out of the Senate and House committees on territories, discussing the difficulty in finding a new name for the territory. See, there were political ramifications. This was 1860 after all, and there was a partisan pull to the name. The Democrats, which had been in power, wanted the name Jefferson to stick. The Republicans took over nationally in 1860, though, and wanted to push their own name, which George Willing had given them on a platter. Idaho it was to be. It had received the agreement of Congress, Gem of the Mountains. On February 2nd, 1861, the Senate bill that would organize the new territory under the name Idaho came to the floor. But something curious had happened. Congress had learned the truth. The word Idaho meant nothing. It was made up. If the account of Willing's friend William Stoddard is to be believed, Willing cooked the name up out of thin air after spending that morning with the children of a fellow delegate, one of whom was named Ida. Still, the wheels of the Senate were in motion, and although one change was made at nearly the last minute, the bill organizing the new territory passed the Senate and the House and was signed into law on February 28, 1861 by President Buchanan. With a stroke of his pen, the president had created a new American territory, which we know to this day as the state of Colorado. See, the real delegate to the Jefferson Territory was Beverly D. Williams, and although it's a little murky, it seems that he had been advised by William Gilpin, the man who would be appointed Colorado's first territorial governor, that something was amiss with the name. Williams frantically rushed into action, prompting this exchange on the Senate floor between Senator Wilson of Massachusetts and Senator Green of Missouri. Here's Wilson. I move to amend the name of the territory by striking out Idaho and inserting Colorado. I do it at the request of the delegate from that territory who is very anxious about it and came to see me today to have that change made. He said that the Colorado River arose in that territory and there was a sort of fitness in it. But this word Idaho meant nothing. There was nothing in it. Senator Green replied that the name of Idaho was put in at the instance of the delegate from the territory, to which Wilson dryly replied, "He has changed his opinion." Dr. Willing went on to be associated with an even grander swindle, but as practical jokes go, almost getting a territory and then a state named something he had just made up is pretty hard to beat. The one thing we do know is true is that Idaho really is a made-up word. So the residents of Colorado can breathe a sigh of relief that they dodged a bullet. Wow, I mean, can you even imagine? This has been American Esoterica. All sounds were made by me, Brian Powers. Did I get it wrong? Did I get it right? Just want to trade good soup recipes? Drop me a note. The address is yell@americanesoterica.com. Thank you for listening, and God bless America.